Introducing Passport Bros, your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So, what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
All right, family, we are live. Welcome to another show. It is your man BMT, and we got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Albania. I'm going to bring on a guest who's been on the show plenty of times, man. He's a good friend of mine, Thomas Brown, in a moment. But before I bring him on, guys, make sure to download the Passport Bros app, all right? The app is doing well. You guys can see right here. See the little after the little glare. Excuse my little dirty phone screen. And you got your tour guides and all that good stuff. So a lot of people want to know like what's going on with the app. You know, like I said, we just had an update. We're updating the Android currently right now. You got all types of resources in there to help you in your travel. So make sure to download the Passport Bros app so you can get access to the true community of Passport Bros, guys that are actually traveling the world, like my man Thomas Brown here. All right, actually traveling the world and putting up receipts as well as informational content, all in uninhibited context, right? Because in Facebook, you're very limited on what you can say, all right? And Facebook got enough money, all right? They already in the trillions of dollars. So download the Passport Bros app. All right, let me go ahead and bring on my guest. What's good?
What? Hey, I moved.
Man, I almost want to call you T Brown. That's like, but I don't know if you go by T Brown. But
yeah, what's good, people man? Call me. Is it too echoey in this room, or should I go back to the other one?
It's a little echo. It's not bad, but let's see how.
I mean, it's like right there. So is the other one a lot better?
Yeah, I think the other one was a little bit better.
Okay, it's literally right next to it. She moved me into this room because that one was a little warm, but now that I'm hearing the echo, it's probably not good for a podcast.
Okay.
So that's all right. We'll move over there.
All right.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man. Let me get a shout out to the chat, man. I want to give a shout out to my man Razor Raise. We got to do that show, bro. We got to do that show on our trip out there in Punta Cana. So shout out to my man Raise.
I'm going to go back and just deal with it.
Let me
okay.
Real quick. All right, shout out my man. Nat is in the house, always in the building. I'm not sure if he's trolling today, but he said stay out of Eastern Europe, bros. All right, I thought you was in Europe yourself, bro. All right, shout out to Profe in the building. So salute BMT. Shout out to you, man. Dope video that we did. Okay. Ash L asked, why do you have to be a distinguished gentleman when everybody in Albania is not distinguished? Make that make sense. Okay. Shout out to my man Ash L in the building. All right, at your wife's hall day, man, shout out to you, bro. He's always posting dope ass content in the app. All right. I mean, some of the dopest content that I've seen. So shout out to my man at your wife's house all day. Says, good evening, BMT, chat, people, Passport Bro app gang. The undisputed Nat Measy definitely tune in. Going to be another fire live stream for the movement. that's changing lives globally, and that is what we're doing. We are changing lives. Let me get my man situated here, Thomas Brown.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, guys?
What's good? Where you at, man? Where you at on the globe?
I'm still in Albania. Like nobody believed me that I was gonna stay. I got a year.
I didn't believe you.
Thought I was kidding.
I didn't believe you because you be moving around.
I do move around, and I came here from Brazil, which was about as high as you can get, right? So I was just, but sometimes when you get that feeling in your gut, you got to follow it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's have to be somewhat of an adjustment because Brazil is known, as a matter of fact, it was just ranked the #1 country in the world with the most beautiful women.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you think about that ranking? I think Brazil was.
I do believe that. I thought that.
Uh-huh.
That till I came here. I thought that, but I think since Albania is kind of unknown, it's not in any rankings on anything. You don't see it anywhere. I mean, I even had a pay system we were setting up, and had all the countries, and Albania wasn't even on there as a country to send money through Stripe at least. And I was like, what? There's a whole 3 million people here. It's just not. It's just like this hidden treasure chest, I guess. I mean, the reason, if you want to know like why I'm here and why I'm staying, is before I came here, I didn't want to leave Brazil. It wasn't just how beautiful the women were in Brazil, it's the way that the people love you in Brazil. They kind of just make you their family, like if they're your friend, and they'll defend you and fight for you, and they'll call you every morning, and once you go to breakfast, and once you go to samba, once you go to rooftop, you have unlimited friends, and they're loyal, beautiful friends. And so I had a really, really hard time leaving that. But before I came to Albania, even though I had a gut feeling to come here, I did some research, and Brazil changed the way I traveled. I used to just go to places because I wanted to go there. Like you guys know, I was all about Barcelona, but I was about the vibe of Barcelona, what everybody thinks and sees of Barcelona. After living there 4 or 5 months, I realized all that stuff I loved about Barcelona became normal, and that's not what I wanted to happen. So I was like, let me move away so that I keep this nostalgia and come here and still see Barcelona this way, right? But when I looked into it, but Brazil made me say I want to travel for the people. After I'm pretty bougie, I don't even know if I like admitting that after meeting how humble these people are, right? But when I was in Brazil, I just got locked in on this Airbnb, and it was so sick. It was so cool. And it was in this high rise. But what I forgot to do, because I'd been traveling so much and I got comfortable, I didn't check everything else out. And when I got to the neighborhood wasn't necessarily that safe, or that like, maybe it was safe, but I wasn't comfortable there. And so that it was enough that I was like, man, I started looking all over, because I was in Sao Paulo. And I started looking all over, and I found the like Jardins and Itiam, which is very nice. I found that after a couple months, right? But what I ended up doing was looking about the people here, because whether it depends on like how serious these people are. Oh, I wish I had the camera pointed right there, bro. If she comes back by, you're gonna be like, oh my God.
Okay.
But I don't think I'll see her coming. Anyhow, if you are like a serious passport bro, you're looking for a place to put down some roots or stay for a while. And if you're going to do that, you're looking for good money resource, right? And good relationship-ish, like a good future possibly into a relationship. If you're smart, that's what you would want to put yourself in that position. A lot of my friends have asked me, well, you're going to bring her back to the States? I'm like, hell no. And they don't understand why. And I said, if I'm going to leave a culture that has 1 in 4 single family homes, right? And then go to a culture that has fantastic family structure, why would I pluck them out of what made them that way and put them into our system that breaks them, right?
That's facts.
So I would want to go where it's made, where it works, where it's built right. I want to go there, right? And then I pretty much got to be okay with staying there. So that's kind of how I ended up in Europe, and it started whittling down, and I ended up here in Albania.
Okay. Real quick. I want to pull this up. One of the guys posted this in the Passport Bros app.
Yeah.
Now you've been in most of these countries. Would you agree? And I don't think I see Albania on here, but this was just the ranking of the most beautiful women in the world, top 50 countries. They have Brazil #1. Ukraine is number 2. Have you been to Ukraine?
I had a Ukrainian girlfriend, man. They're great.
Okay, so you believe that ranking is legitimate? Ukraine being number 2? I just didn't see that, but I haven't been there.
Yes. They have this softness to them too. When they talk to you, you just kind of get like hypnotized, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Albanian girls are. We'll get into that, but I would say, I know this is going to drive people crazy because everybody in these groups seems to think that they have like the claim on the baddest everything. But I would say after 3 or 4 of my boys came here, Albania probably beats Brazil by 3-4 notches.
So hold on. Say that one more time.
So like when people ask me like, oh, 1 out of 10, I'm like, they start at 9.5 here. That's what I tell them. It goes beyond 10 here.
Oh wow. Okay. Venezuela. I don't think you've been to Venezuela or anything, but I can definitely agree with that being up there. But I would think that Venezuela would be, I guess, right around with Colombia. Okay, you got Russia, Italy, Serbia.
Venezuela was up there. Venezuela was up there. I'm sorry I missed her. She just came back by. Venezuela was up there.
I lost you for a minute. Bro. All right, he'll pop back in. But guys, let me know if you agree with this list. Like I said, I don't know too many people that have been to Serbia, South Korea. It really is your perception on a beautiful woman, because I can agree with Brazil and Venezuela being up there. But and Colombia is in, number 12 here. Mexico, I don't know. Let's see if T Brown is back. Okay, we got Germany and Japan. I've been to Japan. Japan definitely got some lookers. The Philippines at number 25. I don't know. The Philippines. See, this is why, like, I don't know if I can really truly agree with this list here, man, because I assume that Thailand had more beautiful women than the Philippines. So from what I hear, I have not been to the Philippines, but that's from what I hear. Okay, and you got the United States. I know you guys love the States. You got the United States coming in at number 26. Let me bring my man Thomas Brown back in the building. All right.
I don't know if that was me or I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you just dropped off for a second, but I was just telling the chat if they asked if they really agree. You've been to Greece though, right?
Yeah, I've been
to the show in Greece. They have it right underneath the United States. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Greece is an exotic look to them, but I don't know if I look at them and just think they're like knockouts. Does that make sense?
Right.
I think that's a good ranking right around there in like London. Like, you know how like the pretty girls in London are pretty and the non-pretty girls are really non-pretty. Like it's like the States. So it's right in there.
Okay. And let me, in all honesty, man, the United States, I've been to some of these countries. I got to say, at least maybe because I'm from Atlanta or something like that. I mean, I think Atlanta and Houston might have the most beautiful black women physically in the States. Maybe Cali, but Cali got a lot of exotics too. Mm-hmm. So I would put United States probably at least right around 15, 16 or something like that, right around there. I wouldn't rank it as low as, what they have it ranked as. I mean, they got Denmark, Norway. I mean, Bulgaria. What would you say about Bulgaria being number 18?
Man, there's a girl that has been playing this cat and mouse game with me from Bulgaria, and she's pretty bad, bro. But she's like the white girl that's got the black girl body. You know what I mean? Like super curvy. So it kind of depends on your taste, obviously, because I don't usually go for a lot of what I see what these guys do. Does that make sense?
All right, you don't go for the thickums.
I do. I have a philosophy that's going to get me in a lot of trouble. But how the thickness that I like is the thickness that I like after children. If they're thick like that before children, okay. I have a feeling like that might be an issue.
No, that shouldn't be that makes sense though. Actually, when you think about it, I mean,
Yeah.
most guys think that way. I know I think that way.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
like you don't want to date a chick that's already kind of plump before she had pre-children.
You want to see what is here? What like it's all over the streets?
Yeah, sure.
Go to my page. Go to my regular Facebook page. I posted something, and all these American girls got in there and got all pissed off. It's just a selfie that was sent to me, right?
Hold on, I got you. Thomas Brown. Is a selfie that was sent to you?
Yeah, it's just a little selfie, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, a lot of people, I try to tell them, and no one ever believes, right? They never believe. Until my buddy came here, all of them, and they were like, holy crap. They never believe. And I get it. It's hard to explain until you see it, because even I was like, whoa, what is this, right? And the sheer quantity of it is crazy here. But we'll get into the culture of it, because it's just because they're beautiful like that, they're nothing like you think. The way that they get to know them, all that, everything is different. It all is wonderful, but it is nothing like what we're used to or what we know. Nothing.
Okay.
And it can be misread very easily.
Okay. So out of all these countries, I mean, you've been to the majority of them, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Where would you rank Belgium and Portugal?
Okay, so Belgium has a demographic that likes black dudes. Those girls fit what most of these guys would want. There's a very, very clear demographic, and they make themselves very known. They love black dudes. Turkey has a little bit of that too. Where's Morocco on this list? Because Morocco got them, bro. They're got them. Morocco.
They do not have. They have Egypt on here, but they don't have Morocco on here.
Yeah, Morocco's got them.
I'm surprised that they ranked South Africa so low. I thought South Africa had the baddies. As a matter of fact, that's the only black country on the list.
Morocco's in Africa.
Yeah, but do they consider Morocco being like a black country? Really, that's more like I mean, it is in Africa, but I think I always say Arabians. Well, what do you call them? What do you call those guys over there?
What? They're Arabs.
Yeah, Arabs. Yeah, they kind of pretty much took the land from Africans like hundreds of years ago. So
right.
All right. Okay. You got China at number 35. Cuba's at number 37. I don't know how in the hell. This is what I'm saying, man. This list is not. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, it's definitely like to not have the Dominican Republic on here is crazy. The DR should be at least in the top 10.
Okay, look here. Hey, here's a girl I talked to in Morocco or Marrakesh. Can you see this?
Oh yeah, she's nice.
But that's the max thickness I can do. Like that, I don't know if I'd be cool with that later. I know that sounds terrible, but yeah, I liked her like that. But I would want that to be after kids. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Shout out to my man Wonderful Travels with the $5 super chat, the first super chat of the day of the stream. Man, always showing support. Appreciate that, my brother. He says this list was not obvious. To our viewpoint. This was not obvious to our viewpoint. I don't know what Lyndon meant, brother, but okay. But shout out to you. Okay. I got a question here too. I just had it up. Okay, Dre Logic asked you, what's your top 5?
My top 5 here for sure. Barcelona, and that's because I think the diversity of Barcelona, like in Barcelona, you have Venezuelans, Brazilians, Colombians, Argentinians, Peruvians, Spanish, Catalan, all of it. So maybe that's a wrong way of putting it because it's not like a specific, you can kind of just choose what you want there. Mm-hmm. Here, what's really cool here is if you see the girls, you'll think they're from all these different countries, but they're all Albanians. I don't even know how to explain that. You'll see a redhead with like bunda and like a lot to get off her chest. Albanian. You'll see skinny, but still with those nice curves, Albanian. You'll see blonde girl, looks like Russian, Albanian. Like, I don't know how to explain how that happens here. Because I ask them all the time, I'm like, you're not from Albania. They're like, no, I'm Albanian. And I'm like, Jesus. And then let's see, what would I do?
Yeah, Albania, you said Spain. Did you say second?
Yeah, Barcelona, would be second for 3, 4, and 5. I mean, okay, I think Thai women are beautiful. they're just not. They just don't make me want that. Like, but I look at them and I'm like, geez, they're beautiful, right? Beautiful, beautiful. So I would put them up there. When I was in Greece, man, I will say, like, when you got out towards the islands and stuff like that, those girls were like really cool, like really exotic. But I just don't know about Greece. Like, I could probably only give you guys 3 right now, because the 4 and 5, I just probably stopped the list there. You know what I mean? I don't really look that deep. I'm not.
So Colombia, Brazil, like none of that.
Well, yeah, Brazil was great, but I kind of got that in Barcelona, I guess. So Brazil was great. And Brazil, a lot of it is the people. A lot of it is how they are. A lot of it is how affectionate they are. A lot of it is like how freely sexual they are. A lot of it is like the passion and all of that, as well as they're great to look at, right? So Brazil definitely would be up there because of that. Colombian girls, man, they're like the look that I like. I love their look. I struggle with the fiscal intelligence. You found that from back in the day.
I thought that's the one you were talking about.
No. It's like way up towards the top. That's super old, bro. That was when I was in Barcelona. No, it's way up. It's just one girl. She's just holding her camera. You can tell, like, it's way up at the top. Like, I only posted it like a few days ago.
Okay, are you talking about in the group or in your personal profile?
Oh, my personal profile. I apologize. Yeah, my personal profile. You'll see it. It's this girl right here. You'll see it.
Okay, I'm looking for it.
That first did.
I want to introduce you
to
how Albanian girl here.
No. Go the other way.
She's gonna tell you.
I only posted it a few days ago. So keep going. It's not a video, it's a photo.
Okay.
Keep going. What?
That's the group post. How'd I get to your
Oh,
you have, I don't think you. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, keep going. It's just a couple down. That girl. Boom. Click on it.
Yeah.
Click on it too, because she got,
she's nice.
Yeah, boom. That's pretty much what like 85-90% of the girls look like out here on the streets.
Okay. So let me ask you this real quick, man. I don't know if you're familiar with my man Flight Madness. We do a lot. We do like
I know Danny.
Yeah, we do like a show weekly, and he had some static while he was in Kazakhstan because he was
have a Kazakh friend.
Right, messing with the local women. Is that the same kind of vibe out there too? Because that's what people are saying about.
Yes and no. I have a Kazakh friend, and they love to fight. They will fight over anything, right? Mm-hmm. Albanians will fight and can fight good, but it's not like Kazakh. They're ready. Let's go. Right here, you have to cross that line, and then you got a problem. Okay, so. With the girls, it's not so much. There's going to be a couple that think that the women are like their property, but it's really up to the girl. Like if the girl isn't have a problem with you, then the guys kind of have to accept that. Doesn't mean they accept it. Doesn't mean they're happy about it. But when you experience the girls here, they don't care. If they want to talk to you, they will talk to you. They don't care what anybody thinks. Where you run into the problem is maybe their family, right?
Okay.
But the family, it isn't necessarily like a black thing. It could be, but they just don't like the foreign thing at all, right? And that's why I was saying, let's do another thing on Albania, because I learned a lot about how things work here, and I was reading them the wrong way. And then when I started to understand it, I was like, oh, I like this. And it's probably much the way I would think about things too. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But the reason if you want to know the reason why I put the Albanian woman up at the top is, there's a video, like if you go 3 down on here, there's a video where I'm out with this girl named Bana. Yeah, it's like, so go down and you'll see one that says, get out your feelings. Ain't no money in there. Right? Keep going. Okay, right below that. Play that. Okay. And I'll tell you about this story. Okay.
My friend is a judge. She's a judge. soon-to-be businesswoman.
That's
They
that.
took me out to a place called, what's the place called? Live? Out to a place called Live. Look at this place. Beautiful. Look at how nice. Beautiful place.
Look at all those girls. It's tables and tables of girls.
All right, time to eat. Eat that.
Nice.
Okay, so let me tell you, that is when I started understanding the most about the Albanian women. So Bana is the girl that was in pink. Okay, so she had asked me to come out to a place called Lift. And so I had asked her, I said, why do you guys only go to like these fancy places? Why only the fancy places? And I learned a lot about the culture, a lot about things I couldn't understand, because I was trying to take them after there to a place called Midtown, which is a shisha joint that I go to. And she's like, I don't go to places like that. And I was like, why? And she goes, because I don't want to be around those kind of people. And I thought at first that was kind of like judgmental, right? But then when I was speaking at this place and I was going to go, the guys were telling me that, hey, they might not let you in there. And I was like, why? And they started arguing and they say, don't lead him to believe that. The reason they make the rules like that at the club where you have to come with the girl is because of the Albanian men, not because of a culture, not because of him being a foreigner. The Albanian men cause problems. That group, they go in there, they start fights, they cause problems. That's why these nice places only let you in with the girl, because you don't act stupid. And I was like, wow.
Hold on. Say that one more time. Go back over that. You just skimmed over that real fast. Say that one more time.
So when I had first gone there, I went to Midtown on like a Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They have bodyguards out there, right? And it's like you have to, get in and have a girl with you and that stuff. I didn't understand that. So I had showed up at first with a bunch of brothers and some Egyptians and stuff. And the guy was like, we are full, like this. And I saw all these chairs and I was new, so I was brave, and I was like, bro, I see all those chairs, right? And then he just came more front. He said, we are full. And I was like, bro, get your damn manager over here. And then I was going through a part where I thought they were real racist, right? And when you think they're racist, it makes you really, really mad, right? And so I don't know, bro. I was super brave, and I kind of walked up to him and I said, "Is it because I'm black like that?" I wanted to hear him say it.
Right.
But he wouldn't say it, and I said,
"You a big dude, bro. You like what?
Yeah,
6 or something?
6'3", yeah, 6'3", yeah."
Right.
And I was a defensive end, so I'm a big dude,
Right.
But he didn't say it. He wouldn't say it, and so I was like, So I was like, "Get your damn manager over here." So he brings this manager over, and it is like the baddest girl ever, like one of those girls from Triple X movie with Vin Diesel. And I was like, oh my God. And then when she heard my accent, she looked at him and she said, these are Americans. We are here to make money, like that. And then she brought us in, right? So she was mad that he did that. Well, when we get in there, she takes us to the back, kind of to like a crappy table. And I was like, still mad, and that type of racial mad, it kind of sticks with us, right? So I was kind of maybe venting a little bit of that on her, and I was like, you want us to come here with our American money, and you want us to spend our American money, and you put me at this shitty table, right?
Damn, you over there bucking out there in Albania, man. Hold on, this is some good stuff now. You just kind of
I was pissed, right? And so she and I was like this close to her face. I don't know, bro, when some people don't know that side of me. The business people know that side of me. They've heard me cuss out lawyers and stuff. They're like, yo, you could get bucked. They don't know that, right? But I was pissed. And she goes, what do you want me to do? There are no tables. And I was like, there's 15 chairs right there. And she goes, you go look. Those tables are not free. There are people sitting in the booth like you're sitting here, right? Like this. The chairs are not free. She goes, if you find good table, I will put you at table. And I don't know why I talk like that when I mimic them or when I'm around them, but I just do that. And
she got that's that Transylvania.
Because I did it in that video too. I did it in that video. I don't know why I was talking like that.
Right.
But I went and looked, and she wasn't lying. And so I was like, okay. She says, you find a good table. I'll give you table. I was like, okay. Literally 3 minutes later, a nice table opened up, and I just waved her, and she got the bouncer. They got me a table. And I sat there, and my homeboys were like, what's good? And I was like, I think I found my wife, bro. And he was like, why? I thought you guys were arguing. And I was like, I was. And he goes, explain that to me. And I said, that woman was not afraid of me at all. At all. The dudes backed up before she did, right? So what I liked was she stood on what was truth. I couldn't intimidate her. Now look at how I'm looking at that. Imagine that being your girl. Imagine that being your girl protecting your family. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, And then I told him the part that's crazy is I was like, you know what it's like when we're racial mad? That's like extra mad. Like we're hot. Like we're fired up. I said, this whole time I'm fired up and I'm in her face. All I'm thinking is, how is your skin so perfect? How is your hair look like Pantene? And look at your big old cat eyes and your luscious lips. You know how fine you got to be for me to think that when I'm that pissed? Because you know, when we see red, we don't see nothing. And so I sat back and was like, that is the first time I've ever thought that beauty is going to be very beneficial inside of a marriage. You know how much stupid stuff I'll let go because she's that bad, that I find her that bad, that will help the relation. I was just like, yo, I've never experienced that anywhere in my life.
Okay, so you don't think that the bouncer did that specifically because you're black?
I know he didn't now. I know he didn't now because I've been here 3 months and a few situations have come up. And then when there was that big argument here in this collabs place, they were arguing like that. They were saying, hey, they make those rules. They were arguing amongst each other, not towards me. They were saying they make those rules because the Albanian men are problems. We want the foreigners. They like the foreigners. If they find out they're foreigners, they'll probably let them in. But if you bring a girl, they let you in no matter what. So it's the men that live here that cause them to have these rules. If you're here, you'll understand. They're a little hyper masculine, some of them. Mm-hmm. And what's crazy though is I'm okay with that. So imagine like, you know how like alpha recognize alpha, or like if you play sports, like when I played football and I dropped this dude, he became friends with me because he recognized it. He was like, yo, he's a beast, right? They're kind of that way. The guys are kind of that way here. Because like when I didn't back down to him, they were kind of like, okay, he's cool. Did I lose you again?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
All right. Oh, he dropped off. All right. Nat Measy with $11 super pound. He said, salute BMT. Yes, in the chat. I hope Stream Being is training. I show is. We're going to have to do a whole show about that, bro. We're going to have to do a whole show. I don't know if it's on, but we'll do that show when you guys are ready. All right. Let me catch some of these comments here while we wait till my man Thomas Brown get back in the building. Like guys are getting a little static out there in Eastern Europe. I mean, but it is what it is. At your wife's house all day, says the undisputed hands on God level Knack. Definitely a needed and appreciated voice in this travel space. All right. Okay. Shout out to my man Knack once again. All right, let's bring Thomas back on.
Dude, I'm on the Wi-Fi in the office. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we good over here. Okay, so you're saying it's more about being foreigners and the Albanian guys. They might be the ones causing trouble. Do you think? And I was trying to explain this to Danny to a certain degree.
Now, bro.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Do you think it's kind of fair for the Albanian guys to not want foreigners dealing with their women?
Okay, so let me look at that. Let me explain this, because at first, I mean, I do feel like it's up to the girl and what she wants, right? But let me explain this a little bit. So you guys know that they only came out of communism, 20 years ago? Mm-hmm. So with communism coming in, to them, foreigners came in and took over their country and killed their people. Do you see what I'm saying? So
like economically, talking as far as economically or physically?
No, they physically killed these people if they went against anything that was said to them in communism. Anything.
Oh shit. Okay.
And so, like, when I realized it was when I went to Rome. I don't know if you guys remember my buddy that was in the hospital for years. He was able to travel, so I flew him out to Rome. Right, I had him come out to Rome, and I met him in Rome. And I was standing next to this Albanian guy in Ciampiano Airport, which is like a smaller one. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about to some people that lived in Italy, and I said, "Hey, I'm living in Albania right now." And the couple was like, "Oh, we want to go visit Albania." And as soon as that Albanian guy heard that, his whole body changed, and he looked them up and down. And I was like, "What's that look for?" And he's like, "Who are these people that want to come into my country?" He didn't care who they were.
You got the accent down perfect, bro. I tell you, you've been out there for a while. You've been out there for a minute.
But that's when I understood. I said, okay, they're not racist, man. That is territorial. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so I thought about that too. BMT, if I didn't know you and you knocked on my door and I opened the door, I'm not gonna be like, yo, what up, dog? I'm gonna be like, who are you, bro? Why are you knocking on my door? Like, I'm not gonna be like, I gotta assess that situation first, right? Now with the girls, when you get to the girls part of it, the family looks at it. Put yourself, bro, you have a daughter. It doesn't matter who tries to date your daughter. He will never be good enough, right?
Facts.
Never.
Facts.
They're the same way. I can't be mad about that. That's only dudes that get their value from trying to say they got girls and this and that, and then they're going to make them bad. But if you really think about it, no one's ever going to be, even if I accept a dude into my family, he's never going to be equal with me. I will stay the leader of the family. You see what I mean? He's still falling in line. So when I thought about that, I'm like, how can I be upset with that? They think the same way that I do. You just have to be patient here. I've been here 3 months and now I'm starting to go on dates. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Like if you like, okay, so Esmond and Bryant were out here and they were talking and they were like, how do you get into these girls? And Esmond was like, you don't. And like, you can see it. And now what they didn't understand, when I was out with Bana and her sister, do you hear her sister's a judge, bro? I don't care for titles, but that one,
right? That's
a G title. You know what I'm saying? Her sister's a judge out here. Well, Bana calls her sister while we're going out because she felt bad that her sister was home alone. And I said, hey, you don't want to call your girls or something and have like a hot girl summer like American? She didn't even know what a hot girl summer was. And I was like, you look better than all the girls that do hot girl summers, and you don't even think this way. She says, no, I love my sister. I don't want her to be home alone. Her sister gets there, and I didn't bring the other camera, but she felt the same way about her cousin. So she ends up calling her cousin, and her cousin and her friend come, and there's 4 of them. They'd only wanted to be with the family. Then we were sitting at the bar, and there wasn't enough room because the place got popular, so I said, I'll stand up. Well, we were talking about smoking, right? And Bana goes, oh, I go, do you like Piros? Piros are cigars, right? She says, no, only Toscanelos. I had Toscanelos in my pocket, just like I have here. I just had them. And I was like, what? You know what it's like if a girl smokes what you smoke? That's cool as hell, right? So then I said, let's go out and smoke. So we went out on the balcony of the rooftop and we're smoking. And we're just talking. And I think I even put that video, I put it on my stories where I was like, look at Vanna smoking one of my Toscanelos. Well, her sister goes to the bathroom, the judge, and she sees us. And she comes out and sits with us and leaves the cousin and the friend in there. And I'm like, are you guys going to go back in there? Like, no, it's more interesting out here. Then 30 minutes later, when they're done eating, the cousin and the friend come out and they say, are you guys staying? And we're like, yes. They get chairs and sit with us. While I'm talking, I feel like I got to keep telling stories because this was them the whole time. Locked in, listening, focused. And when I'm talking about focus, this is where like Esmond and those guys, and I'm not hating on those guys, I'm just saying what they commented. They didn't realize these girls, they don't look around. So even if they're with their homegirls, they don't look around. So if they're talking to their homegirls, you can walk by and they're not even distracted. Like I just walked by and this girl's dog started barking at me. She didn't even look up to see who the dog was barking at. Like they stay locked in with who they're there with. And that is like the dopest feeling ever. You have 4 girls locked in when you're talking, just listening, paying attention, locked in. Some of the traditional stuff that I didn't realize until you experience it. They would not touch their food until my food came out. Bro, you know how king you feel when they do that? And I'm not even used to it. So I didn't even know they were doing it until I was like, you guys can eat. They're like, no, we wait for you. And I was like, huh. And I didn't know if it was special for me. It was because I was the man there.
Okay.
And I was like, wait a second. Same with leaving. Like Vanna and her sister, they were pretty tired and their friends were really interested in the story. And I said, hey, I'm just finishing my smoke. You can go home. They would not leave until I left. When you're nice. In that circle as the dude, they leave with you, they come with you. That's just how they operate. It is amazing.
Okay, let me get a super chat real quick by my man Drew with the $4.99 super chat. He has a question for you. He says, ask the guest if he has been to Kazakhstan. If he has, would he bring that same energy to a Kazakh man that doesn't want you with their girls?
I wouldn't with a Kazakh. No, I have a Kazakhstan friend here, and I know a Kazakhstan girl. The Kazakhs, they fight each other. Like they'll fight each other. Like if you just bump them, they're just like, "Rah!" They fight each other, man. They like remind me of like what's that leader of the Mongolian guys from back in the day? They're like they're like that, bro. Like they ready to be down.
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. They are
Genghis
ready.
Khan. Yeah, they have his bloodline. That's his bloodline over there.
Yeah, Kazakhs are ready. But if you're considered their friend or family, you're good, bro. But if they don't know you at all, oh, they are ready. That's not how they are here. They're not like that here. Also, this guy that I had kind of confronted, he wasn't just some roaming guy. He worked there, so he had some standards he had to follow.
Okay, at your wife's house all day, it says first Danny getting smoked, and now Thomas Brown in Albania. This passport bro movement is scaring the country, man. What do you think about that, man? Because academics made a show. He's always throwing shots at the passport bros. He's saying that no local men would tolerate some guys coming from another country taking their women.
I mean, that's the general gist of it. But here, there's a specific interesting thing. For some reason, they feel us Americans are like superior culture. I've never even heard that. And then when I heard it here, I was like, whoa, like I've never heard anybody even put a culture above. And it's in the Visit Albania page. And there was a guy from like Dubai trying to say he was going to come and open like a car sharing service here. And they were like, just tell him straight up on the page, don't come. We don't want you here. We don't want you here. And the guy was like, that's rude. He's like, we don't care if we're rude to you. He said, maybe if an American, because they superior culture, we would be upset. We would not want to upset them, but you don't come. And I was like, I didn't know they viewed us that way. But when I experience out there, yes, when they find out I'm American, it comes down a little bit. That macho, it comes down a little bit. Then if they find out you're a businessman, it comes down more. And the part that when they really open up and they're very warm is if you employ their people. If you take care of their people, then they're totally different with you. Like they can go from being a jerk, fuming, and find out that you're taking care of their people and providing jobs, and they put it all away. They give you that, like when they shake your hand, they do that, like it's almost like a homie thing. They do that. They'll give you a hug. They love their people, man. If you are good to their people, they are good to you.
All right. I got my man T Matt with a $10 super chat, always showing support. Shout out to you, T Matt. He says, I enjoy hearing about different travel experiences. I realize that bros have different preferences. I am good with Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, and the DR. European phenotypes is not my primary preference.
I don't feel differently than him, other than I'm a businessman and I need a girl that has this understanding of fiscal intelligence. I don't get that from any South American or Latin girls. Will I have a family that feels love? 100%.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Will they have a family that feels love? 100%. Will I think she's beautiful? 100%. Will we have good mattress mambo? 100%. Okay. But if something happens to me, I don't know what's going to happen to the family. There is not a European girl I know that wouldn't be able to handle it if she ended up having to take the control for a little bit.
You know what? That's one thing I worry about when I was dating in Thailand, even in Cambodia to a certain degree. I always be like, man, if I get one of these chicks pregnant or get married, I got to really be here. You know what I'm saying? Because the way things are out there are a whole lot different. Like I would have to bring it to my kids to the States for a while. Just to, I have to mix it up a little bit. So I kind of understand what you're saying there to a certain degree.
Every European girl I have ever dated, man, when I was in Budapest, I was trying to talk to this Russian girl and she was cool. She'd come and she hung around with me and stuff. But she was wearing like her mink and her little Rolex and all that. And I was like, you want a rich man, huh? And she goes, yes. Like straight up, yes. And then I said, okay, when I get rich, I come back, you be my girlfriend. She goes, okay. Right. And it made me laugh. But then I said, you don't want a good guy. And she goes, No, I want good guy. She goes, I want good guy. If he's not rich, I will teach his mind to be rich. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because they can teach my sons that. They can teach my daughters that. You see what I'm saying?
You know, a friend of mine asked me, she was just like, she was asking me about questions about, foreign women and everything like that. And I said, I know a lot of women are looking at it more like the traditional thing. They look down on traditionalists. They look down on, so-called uneducated. But I was telling her, I was like, look, these women are highly educated. As a matter of fact, what they do in some of these countries is they just don't put the corporate infrastructure before their family, which makes them traditional, right? So let's say in Thailand, if you would get with a woman, instead of her saying, okay, I'm going to go work, 40, 50 hours a week at, some little major chain and make $400-500, what a Asian woman will do in a lot of cases, they'll say, hey, you have any business ideas? Oh, I have this, it's a little salon open. We can rent that salon. Like they have more of an entrepreneurial mindset, and they're teaming up with you. Versus, I will say, like in some of these South American countries in the DR, it's more or less, let me get a good job, let me go to school. It's more like they're trying to imitate the States more or less. And anybody know that a real entrepreneur looks at a 9-to-5 like temporary. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of always been my separation with dating women in the States. Like my ex-girlfriends are still working for the same company they worked for 10, 15 years ago. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, that's not going to work with me.
You want the freedom. You want the freedom.
Yeah, like I want to be able to travel the world. Like I'm fighting for entrepreneurship. We got our own community. We trying to make money so we can kind of free ourselves from that corporate, infrastructure to a certain degree.
Yeah, I would take less money for more freedom, to be honest. Like I already did it. In the States, I already climbed it, and I already was like one of the top dogs there, but I didn't have the freedom.
Right. That's why I be telling some of these guys in my consultations too. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was like, because guys I was hitting, they say, hey man, I saw your job list. I got this job I'm looking at, but it only pays $15 an hour. But it's remote. And I'm sitting here
they're not looking at the cost of living somewhere else.
Right. I'm sitting here like, well, bro, $15 an hour. You can't do nothing with that in the States. But in Thailand, you can make something shake with that.
Yeah, like, okay, my buddy Berto, I got him out there in Thailand, and homeboy is like a money hoarder. Like he makes like 30 grand a sale, and he won't spend a penny. And he still calls me at 7-Eleven. Y'all know I've been to Thailand. 7-Eleven is the greatest store in the world.
7-Eleven is Hey, man, I hate that 7-Eleven, though, because I'll be like, it's very, everything in DR closed, like 12 o'clock at night. You can't even order no food, really, unless it's birthday or something. Yeah. But 7-Eleven, it's like, I was right there. Let me just get some donuts. I'm just going to get a little donut. 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
But not only that, you can get on Grab and get whatever you want. You can get pancakes and syrup at 3 o'clock in the morning there.
Right.
Hey, okay, sorry. Go ahead. I was going to show you another thing from here, but let's keep the train that you were talking about, and then we'll get to this.
Okay, shout out my man T Matt with a 5 super chat once again. He says, I am also a businessman who owns a company in the U.S. and a SAS Corp in Colombia. I retired as an engineering professional. I delegate
with SAS Corp, SAS like SaaS, like software as a service, or like that.
Yeah, I was confused by it too. He uses SaaS, but he just says SAS Corp.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I think I know what he's talking about.
T Matt does make a good point though. He just made a real good point. Don't trust no women with business. I won't.
No.
I just want companionship, trust, and loyalty.
Not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to have her as a partner. I'm saying that she has a mindset that if I'm gone or something happens with me, she can pick it up. So that selfishness he's worried about is actually what I'm looking for. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because if I fall, that she gonna kick in and take it. That's what I want. Because if we build in a family together and we have a plan together, and I become not able to do that plan, for her, maybe her self-preservation and love for her kids, she's going to pick that up. But she has the intelligence level to do it. That's what I like. And they have the drive to do it and the business acumen to do it. That's what I like.
That's a good
But
point.
trust me, these European girls will let you pay for everything all the time if you. I don't know. Bana and her sister were kind of fighting over that meal. They paid for that for me. So but dude, we'll get in when we get through these things. We'll get into the deepness of how these girls and why I think it's like family and it's more sophisticated than I ever even understood until I got here and really dug into it. I was just like, if you're here, Esmond was so funny. We're standing on the street and they don't realize like every car here is a Beamer, Mercedes, Audi, everyone, and they're all black, and it's like nothing else. Okay,
Hmm.
and obviously that's a lot of mafia stuff, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
Esmond was standing on the corner when we were standing out by Pepper, and he's like, "Yo, how much is the Audi here?" Like kind of saying, "Man, there's so many Audis." I asked Banna about that. I said, "Why are you guys all driving Mercedes, Audis, and Beamers?" She goes, "Because we have standard." And I'm like, what do you mean standard? She says, it doesn't care if it's 20,000, 2022, 2015, 1999, as long as it's Mercedes, we have standard. I said, that's actually kind of dope. The way it wasn't like you need to have they weren't looking at it like you need to have the most expensive. They just think
Hmm.
the brand is good. So she says it could be 1998 Mercedes. It's still quality. That's how they saw it. I was like, oh, so this isn't about what we're used to in America. People think you spend more money means you're better. That's just not true. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this: as far as Colombia, DR, Brazil, stuff like that, I do pretty much feel comfortable, walking around with my lady, whether she be Dominican or Brazilian to a certain degree.
Mhm.
Um, do you feel like you stand out more when you walking around with an Albanian woman out there? Like, do you get more looks? Are you comfortable, with that out there in that, in Albania versus being in like Latin America to a certain degree, where it's kind of normal when you see, bros with the women there?
They don't. I mean, some dudes have an issue. Most don't. Okay,
Hmm.
most
Hmm.
don't. But like when I was walking around with Banna, I felt like I got treated better. I felt like everything was easier. You know what I'm saying? When we walked in the lift, they had all this security and they looked at me and I was wearing this athletic stuff, which they don't like. And they looked at me and then they saw her and then that was it. It was done. No questions. No questions. These other dudes came in behind me, two dudes, they stopped them. Scourge, talked to him, whatever. And then he ended up knowing like the bartender and they let him in. So honestly, believe it or not, I didn't know it, but the girls rule here when it comes to business like places. But it's not like they put them on a pedestal because that's definitely not what they do. But the women are so all the things that us men like in women, like feminine, demure, cook, clean, all that stuff. That all of those things we like. If you could put 1 out of 10, they probably get 11s and 12s. They overflow with that stuff. When you talk to them, you can feel the feminine energy. You can feel it. And when you've been away from it for so long, America is absolutely amazing for helping us recognize what's good out there because it's so far the other way that when you feel that real feminine energy, you're just like, this is the most beautiful thing ever, ever, ever. And so it's not, I don't know what to tell you, man. You have to almost feel it. You almost have to see it. Like there's people they don't get it until they come here. There is so many. Now, Bryant, he
They speak a
didn't
lot of English. Like, what's the percentage of English they speak out there?
anyone that's like 30 and below speaks English just fine.
Wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not no real language barrier.
No, I mean, not really. Like the older, maybe, but just like with anything else, they can kind of read your body language. Like there's this place I go to get my hardware stuff all the time, and he's always like, translator, translator. And so we use the translator, right? So it's not tough. But then we're in Toronto though. If you went up to like Barat or somewhere like that, it might be hard. You know what I'm saying?
All right, shout out my man player with a passport, always representing the business. It's about time someone with some sense at Thomas Brown, women with business acumen.
Acumen, but I
Yeah,
get what you're
acumen,
saying.
yeah. All right, shout out to Green Lantern 81 with the $5 super chat. Says, salute to your guests. I love how American women talk bull jive, lie about foreign women they've never met or researched. European women are legit, by the way.
Super legit. And like, okay, so it's in their culture because when I brought that up, when we first started, she was walking behind me and she waved in the camera. I was talking with her about it, and I said, Vanna, when I was cleaning up, I had bought pizza for everyone. And Vanna went and cleaned up all the pizza and drinks and put all that away while I was packing my bag to leave. And I just stood there and watched her. And she wasn't doing that because she knew I would like it. She was doing that because that's how she's programmed. That's what she grew up with. So I brought it up with this girl, Celeria. And she goes, oh, yes. She goes, the women here, we do the chores. She goes, we do the chores. She said it straight up. They don't have an issue with it at all. And so to hear that back home, I just am like, okay, these women are better to me in every metric: looks, personality, charm. I mean, like, they show you that they like you. They show you. Where at home it's a game, right? They show you that they respect you here. Like back home, that's like the weapon, right? So that contrast is so nice here. And if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. They don't turn it into this huge problem. It's great. Did I lose you again?
No. I'm here. Somebody just made a joke. Says, "Where's Dr. Umar?"
You know what? When I came here, I thought about that. This place made me think Dr. Umar was just full of it. Because I'm like, bro, dude, what I don't like about him is I feel like he's using the culture to monetize himself.
Okay, hold on. We gotta hear from Dr. Umar real quick. Hold on. This is you, Thomas. Hold on.
We work at the school. You and I both know the answer to that question.
Okay, that's him saying some.
What's a snow bunny? What's a snow bunny?
A snow bunny
why
is a
should
white woman.
black men stay away from snow bunnies?
First of all, as Pan-Africanists, we believe in self-determination, African independence, right? So that means every school need to be built for and by black people. Every bank need to be built for and by black people. Every hospital needs to be built for and by black people. Every community needs to be built for and by black people. Every family needs to be built for and by black family. There's more African women on the planet than any other population. There's no other population that has more of itself than black women. So what excuse do I have dating outside of my race with so many African women?
Hold on, I'm stopping right there.
We all came from Adam and Eve. We all came from Adam and Eve. I don't know what he's talking about. We all came from Adam and Eve. What's he talking about?
Yeah, man. Dr. Umar, he be pandering. He be pandering pretty much. Shout out.
I think he does that for the black community to support him. And what I don't like is that I feel like he's manipulating so that he can get paid. That's what I don't like.
No, he does do that. He does do that.
Yeah, that's not cool. That means he doesn't really care about you.
Like he's
acting like he does.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows by throwing black men on the bus because he never talks about the interracial dating on the other side. He never mentions all the divestor channels and groups at 500,000, 400,000. He never mentions that because his base is pretty much the sisters, which is nothing wrong with that. But he knows that it's like this little tension between us. So by throwing us under the bus, he can kind of identify and get them to kind of release their purse strings, almost like the way the pastors do in some of those churches in America. Like they will always kind of demonize the man in order to,
like TD Jakes and Diddle. What the?
Right.
But that blew me away.
Somebody said Umar wants a snow bunny.
Probably.
I mean, what do you think about that, though? I mean, what he's saying is incorrect, basically?
He makes it sound good. But like I said, we all came from Adam and Eve. It just kind of went and did its thing, right? So we all came from that. So I don't know what he can say. Like, what do you say about that? Do you know what I mean? So he's just kind of pulled it out and plucked it out and said, "Oh, let's appeal to the pride of the black man and the black woman and the Malcolm X." Cool. I'm not saying you can't only date black people. You can't, but you can't sit here and act like we didn't come from what we came from also. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, they're going deep in the chat. Let's get off that subject, man, because they talking about all types of stuff now. Let's get back on the subject. Let's get back onto the subject of Albania, man. So you've been out there for three months.
4 now, yeah.
Okay, going on 4 months, man. And this is like, we named the title of the show "Distinguished Brother." This isn't like one of them countries that's going to be, just kind of out there like that. This is more.
You couldn't go do what you could do in Colombia. You couldn't go do what you could do in Brazil. Like the community itself kind of has to accept you. Period.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until, and I didn't realize that they talked here, because one day everything changed. I was like, why is everybody cool with me? And what I ended up finding out from one of the dudes here is he said, oh, no, we heard about you. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you helped that guy, that farmer. And I go, is that why everybody's cool with me now? And he said, yes. And I was like, you heard about that? And he's like, yeah, we talk here. That's what we do. We take care of our people. And all it was, dude, they have people selling fruits and stuff. They have fruit stands, right? And those are like the lower income businesses. But then they have other people that'll have like a blanket once in a while with some corn and some onions. And I kind of feel bad for them. But unfortunately, I don't feel bad enough that I want to do something for them. But there was this guy that had a bag of cherries, and that was it. And he looked a little disheveled, and he was, looking at me like, hey, buy. And I was just like, you know what? As an entrepreneur, you want to help someone that's trying to do something, right?
Facts.
So I was like, all right. I said, how much? He goes, 7. I thought that meant 700 lek, which is $7. Okay. So I get out 200 lek, and then I give it to him, and I go get the other 5, and he's like, no. And he goes to give me change. It was 70 lek, which is 70 cents. Okay.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah. And it was like this huge bag. And I was just like, no. And I said, no, I don't want the change. You keep the change. And he would not accept that. He wanted to give me the change back. So I just walked away, and I said, no, keep. And all he did was yell until I got to the end of the street. Follow me there, blow kisses. Follow me there, which means thank you so much. And all the people heard that, and they started talking. And they thought if I was willing to show that empathy enough to make that guy respond that way, that I'm okay. And after that, bro, I'm fine. It's like everybody knows. It's crazy to me.
Okay.
It's crazy to me. Yeah.
Okay. And he says the lek, so that's $1.87 there. That's a pretty good exchange rate.
That changes a ton, bro. Like, that's the most wildest change I've ever seen, because during high season, the dollar's worth like less. But what they really do is they just kind of go €1 to 1 lek. So they kind of self-inflate their own money out of convenience. So that's another thing. It's like our money's not stronger here. It's not, because they go by the euro, and the euro is stronger than us. You know what I'm saying? So I have a bank account here, and I put in like $1,000, and they gave me like 970. And I was like, what? And I found out it was like 97 to 1. And I was like, oh, I got to remember with the euro. You know what I'm saying? So my rent is like €650, but it's really like $820.
Okay.
It's what I come to find out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, is that like a real nice spot?
Oh,
or
it's nice, but it's not like what you guys saw I had in Malaysia. I was paying the same. Remember that bad place I had in Malaysia? I was paying the same money for that, and that was like super plush. Remember the high rise? You guys were always like, show us out the window.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's nice, it's clean, it's a great place, but it's normal. It's a normal. Everyone thinks that it's nice. Everyone says, oh, you're in a famous building, but for what we know as Americans, it's just normal. It's just a normal place.
Okay.
It's brand new, but it's normal.
Okay, and it has a nice American standard.
Yeah.
When I say American standard, like here in the DR, you can be paying $2,000 a month, and the hallways are sideways or lopsided or something like.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
It's built very well. They talked about how the architect is very famous. It's built very well. It's huge. There's 1,000 units, and they built a square in a square. It's called Square, and inside there's a square like where everybody hangs out, and then there's restaurants all along the bottom, and there's a very expensive gym they built. I pay $200 a month for it, but I just did a deal where they gave me a deal because I've been there for a while, where I get it for $119 for everything now. But I mean, it's like spa, Olympic pool, 5 hot tubs, gym, boxing room, media room. Like, it's crazy.
Okay, and just take us to like a typical day in Albania. Like, you go to the coffee shop, or is there things to do? Like, what's the average day?
The other reason I chose Albania is because the coffee shops here run the world. Okay, like look, and I like kind of like really sophisticated, cool things, and the restaurant nightlife is like amazing. And where you're gonna meet the girls are gonna be the coffee shop and the restaurant nightlife. You're not gonna meet the 10s at the club. That is crazy to me. You will not meet the 10s at the club. You might meet the 7s and 8s, but you won't meet the 10s at the clubs. You're going to meet them at the nice restaurants with their girls or at the coffee shops, and they're only spending like $2. I was trying to find a video to show you these girls that helped me with my bank account, because I got a bank account here, and then when I got the PIN and everything, it was in Albanian, and I couldn't read it. So the girl sitting next to me helped me. I got video of them because I left my camera on. They are, bro, I'll find it while I'm telling you this, but Jesus. That's all I can say, like, Jesus. But anyways, so yeah, I'll usually get up, mess around the house a little bit, and then I'll go to one of the coffee shops. Momentum is my favorite one to go to, but it's attached to my building. The coffee shop culture here is crazy. Like, people will go and sit there for 2 or 3 hours, and they get those little coffee cups and a water, and that's like $1.80. I don't even know how those places stay in business, but that's where all the like beautiful girls are. But then while I'm looking that up, look up a place called Mugo Tirana. This is kind of how the restaurant life is here, and these places are dope. Look up Mugo Tirana and Salt, and they are dope, like dope. Mugo is spelled M-U-G-O.
You said Toronto?
Yeah, or Mugo.al, probably like Albania.
Okay.
But if you just go to Google, it'll pull what you need.
Okay, hold on. Now, put up the Instagram.
Maybe, yeah, if they got an Instagram, that would be great. I don't know what their Instagram looks like.
Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure. All right. Okay, I think, okay.
M-U-G-O. It's just vibes, bro. It's just vibes. And they have that everywhere here. They got Millennium Gardens, they got Salt, they got Lyft, where those girls took me. Like, that is like what they do here. And that fits me. The nightclubs are a little bit Bangkok-ish. Yeah, there it is. That's Mugo.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and that's just like a regular. They're known for their brunch, but they're showing like the pictures of the night. Oh, the sushi here is crazy because the water's right here, so it's like fresh. So this is like I guess to what you were saying. This isn't a place you come if you were looking for that nightlife and all that. They have it. Don't get me wrong, they have it. But you want to go to like Saranda or Vellora for that to get that Ibiza vibe. But here in Tirana, it's more that like sophistication. Like, I've seen more Maybachs and Lambo trucks here than I saw in Scottsdale. And I lived in Scottsdale where they got that money. And I saw more of that here. Which is
good food.
Yeah, look how nice
good
it is.
ambience. Yeah, it's nice.
Look up Salt and look up the website of Salt. Like, that place is crazy. And like, so you know how we have what's that Open Table? We have Open Table, right? If you want to make a reservation, what they have here has your picture. So if you walk up for your reservation, they're holding an iPad and they see you. So you don't have to say, oh, I'm Thomas or I'm Mr. Brown. They'll see you and say, oh, Mr. Brown, let me escort you to your table. Like, it's crazy, bro. So if you got a date, you just look like you running things. It's great.
Okay, let me catch the super chat real quick. Sturdy_FBA with $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, I wouldn't recommend any Americans be confrontational abroad. Thomas, you seem to be educated, so you should move accordingly. The bouncer could have been mobbed up, bro. You want to respond to that?
That's not how it is, bro. He was fine with me having a problem with it. You know what I mean? Because he knew that I could see the tables. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. These guys that tell us how things are going to be, I have to see if they've actually been out here. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was doing money brokering and all these guys try to tell me how to do it, but I've never money brokered. I've been in the money broker thing. It doesn't work that way. The feel is different. Now, if I was in Kazakhstan, no way. You can tell. You can tell it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? You can tell. But what he does have is good is I did go there quickly. So I did, because my buddy that was with me, he's like, man, I want to be more like you. He's like, you don't let anybody push you around. And I said, yeah, that could be good. That could be bad. I said that to him, you know. But yeah, but I noticed because at Pepper, I was saying that when Esmond was there, and I was mad. Like, I was just mad. And then I was just saying some bullshit like, yeah, I spend like $100 every time I'm in here. And Esmond's like, I spend 1,000, blah, 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 right? And then the guy came out, the leader of the bouncers came out. He came out. He's like, man, what's your problem? And I don't know why. I just turned around and walked right up to him. And the fact that I did that, he was kind of like, okay, I understand. This is a guy, men versus men, men. Would I do that to a Kazakh? No. I don't even think they know why they fight, Kazakhs. Do you know what I'm saying? My buddy that's Kazakh, I'm glad he wasn't with us that night because that would have just went crazy. I found the video. Okay, these are the girls that helped me with my bank account, and this is like an everyday thing. You ready for this? Hello? Oh, I lost him. You back? What's that, Salt?
No, I'm putting you on the big screen. There you go. You can show it.
Okay, so look, this was the girls that helped me. Look at this. This is every day here. Crazy, like super sophisticated, right? Like super gorgeous. The one in the white, I was just looking at her like, dude, this is stuff I see on TV, man. This is crazy. And when I asked them, they like gathered around in this little huddle, and they like had their fingers with their perfect little fingernails, and they were like reading it and saying, okay, right here's where your pin, you want to peel here, but they didn't peel it, and blah blah blah. They were so nice that I ended up telling the waiter, I said, hey, take care of their table for me. Their bill that I paid for was only $5, bro. And they went out of their way to be like, oh my gosh, thank you. The one in the yellow, because she came later, so I had paid for the other two girls. I didn't pay for her. So they had said, the guy said, your bill's paid except for hers, right? And they were looking around. He said that he paid for you guys, you know, and they were just like over the moon, over $5. And I'm seeing this bull crap back home where they're like, you better take me to a 5-star restaurant, blah, blah. What am I really going to choose? Someone that looks like that and acts like that and is grateful for $5? Or do I need to flex and spend $600 for a girl that doesn't even really care about me? Like, that's the easiest decision you could ever make.
Okay, Tommy, let me ask you this. Let's talk a little bit beyond the surface level here. Do you think that because of the way the men are in the West with, you know, simping and OnlyFans, do you think if too many of us, you know, with that Western mentality come to these countries like this, you think we'll kind of change the dating market?
Not here, because like I said, those dudes don't approach girls. And these girls, they're not looking. They don't look. Like, you have to see what it's like. They will be talking. And there was a guy here that was like a pretty handsome dude, I would say girls would like him. And he saw those three girls, and he tried to get up, and he was stretching and trying to let them see the muscles. They never even looked over there. And it wasn't like they were trying not to look over there. They were like the girls that had went out with me. They are locked into their conversation. They are content with their friends. Their friends, the people in their circle, matters the most to them. Not attention. Connection means the most to them.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
It's fly
and I've seen it even with, I told you, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy. That's in Blaku. Blaku is like the Scottsdale of like Arizona, or like the Beverly Hills.
Thomas being them bougie spots, boy. Thomas don't play. Hey, you know what's interesting, man? Like, we got all types of different personalities with the Passport Bros. Like, I interviewed a guy last week whose apartment was like $150. He was in San Domingo, Colombia, which is like an hour away from Medellin, and you know, he likes the hood, right?
I can't do it. Yeah,
but you can't blame him because he's like, man, I grew up in the hood. I'm in the hood. Yeah. And people would tell him, hey, man, it's dangerous. You don't speak Spanish. You're American. You're a foreigner there. You in the hood. But he's like, well, I grew up in the hood. So you kind of understand, even though it's a language barrier, like, okay, he's a hood dude. So he's comfortable where he's at. That's where he grew up. So, you know, but then you got the distinguished Passport, bro. It was like, you know, you hitting. I'm like, I'm kind of like, I'm right there with you too. I'm the same way. Like, I'm a letter boozy.
I've tried. Like, you guys saw where I was staying in Qatar. Like, and I did that after being in Istanbul with all that stuff I went through, right? In those places that weren't kind of sketchy.
I love places like, I love pulling up a laptop in places like this. Like, I love that.
Yes, you saw my Qatar thing. Go to my IG. And I'll explain it. You know what my IG is, Thomas Brown Verified?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
I got a lot of Albanian stuff on there too. See, you like this because you're looking through all this, man.
Yeah,
You would like it, but I
that
mean,
looks
you're
good.
older. You're a little older like me. We don't need all that attention. Half the time, we don't even really want it. We just want to observe. We want to choose for ourselves, right? Because when I
Hmm.
see the dudes on here fighting about girls and this and that, and like it's always the same fight, like looks maxing, right? Some of them, all they want to talk about is the girls want what they see. That's just not my experience. Do you know what I'm saying? As I've gotten older, that's just not my experience. I'm not saying girls don't like to look at a guy, but that doesn't overrule the way they feel about a guy, right? Never. And all these things that I hear them saying and all that they do, I'm just kind of like, all of this is for what? Because they want to play like women want them and choose them. But in reality, don't you want to choose your girl? Even whether she looked at you or not, don't you want to choose the girl? So if maybe she didn't see me and walked up in the room, I should introduce myself if that's what I'm attracted to, right? So all that stuff I hear, I'm like, what's the point of all this? What is it? What is it? Like, what is status are you getting from this? Because that you've missed the mark. To me, you got to go after what you like. And then if whether she's paying attention to you or not, bro, I think it's going to cut us off again. If it does, I'll go back in because it keeps giving me that cue.
No, you good. You good. You good. I was trying to put up your Instagram, man, but they asked me for some security shit, so I won't be able to put my Instagram
Thomas
up.
Brown verified?
No, it's on my end. My end is some security shit. So, okay. Luck we lost Thomas there. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Wizard says you can't blame men for not being there when women choose men who were never going to be there in the first place. All right. Many black men who are on point and would make great fathers, they date out because black women don't choose them. All right. Shout out my man T Mac once again. Thomas doing that business development. I'm not mad at him at all. Love Albania. They love us. All right. Love. That's Melissa there. It says love Albania. They love us. Exoticals.
They do.
All right, there you go.
They do. Yeah. I wonder if they have a timer here on the internet thing. I didn't notice. It probably just resets, but I don't notice it on my regular computer.
Mm-hmm.
What was I saying to you?
I think we were just speaking on like the cultural spots out there in Albania. You know, how it's pretty much upper class for the most part. Or well, let me take that back. I'm pretty sure they have like a area where it's not.
Yeah. Like the girls were telling me, they don't like going to Midtown and stuff like that. They don't like it because like it's a bunch of dudes they think out there kind of peacocking, which is kind of the same everywhere in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they make a big point. Like I never realized that the girls do that to be away from that. I thought it was more like, look at me, I only go to nice places. They did that for safety. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, I never put that together before, because she was not trying to go to Midtown with me. She was not trying to go. But she's like, if you want to go to Lyft or if you want to go to Mugo, well, then we can go. And I was like, oh, and I knew it wasn't about money because they paid for my meal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay. And that's when it kind of clicked because, we like to read it however we want to read it, but we might not be right. And I came to find out the girls stay at the nicer places because of safety, because particularly here, the men get really rowdy. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah, in particular. But see, the other thing too, like to go deeper in here, I live in La Square, right? And so when I go, there's a place called Anya, which is this beautiful restaurant in my building. It's not like the vibes, but the food quality is amazing there. And so I eat it when I'm close and I don't want to go far. I just go downstairs. And in the square, you'll see families and kids all on their scooters and playing soccer and running over each other and hurting their elbows and this and that. But what's beautiful to me about that is I don't see one cell phone or iPad, bro. Never. And mom and dad are sitting out there with them every day. And think about that back in the States. Do you ever see that? No. It's all divided. And
so do you see any other like melanated people out there at all? Like
yeah,
Africans,
I saw a whole African family, but they were probably just visiting. I don't know if they were like living here, but I saw like straight up Nigerian family out here.
And I'm pretty sure you don't run into no other Black Americans out there.
I have a couple. I'm friends with actually you guys might know him. He played in the NFL, but it was like a while ago. Gosh, I'm blanking his name right now. If I look on one of my stories, I guess he likes them all the time. But he's dating an Albanian girl, and he's out here. But he feels the same way as me. He's like, they look at me kind of hard. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to DJ Virus One. He says men love with their eyes, women love with their ears. They ain't ready for all that.
100%.
They ain't ready for all that.
100%.
Hey, let those guys
100%.
think that, you know, putting baby oil on and hitting the gym, and you should definitely, you know, take care of yourself. Don't get me wrong, but you know, and I look at all these little YouTube channels and all these little, you know, all this stuff about, you know, looks masking and, you know, or supporting.
That's so crazy. I think
I just be like, okay, they just don't know. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know.
Insecurity. I think that's an insecurity. I think that's what they want to get attention for. That they're not necessarily looking at what works. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been plenty of times, man. I've had homies mad at me. I have a buddy I used to call him Cheat Code. He's kind of one of those like ripped dudes, but he's light skinned with green eyes. And like,
you call him Cheat Code.
Yeah, I called him Cheat Code because I was like, bro, give me that. I have 59 kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like he hates it. He hated it when I would come around. I didn't do anything special, bro. Women just like to be listened to. They just want to have a conversation. Like, how hard is it? I don't know why people don't actually study girls, right? What do girls do all day? They call each other to go spend time with each other, go have coffee, go shopping, they go to the bathroom together to talk. That's what they want the most. But I have found out, I'm sure you got homeboys you talk to, they're paying to talk to even for you. You're like, this dude ain't even listening. He's locking me out, right? He's not paying attention to nothing. That's why they have trouble with these girls. And then the girls feel like, oh, he's not paying attention to me. He's not this, he's not that, right? Yes, that's true. You get 1 year visa here.
Oh, yeah, let me ask you that. Americans get a 1 year visa free in Albania?
Yes, on arrival.
All right, player with a passport always coming in with the Mac and Gay. So Thomas Brown, there's level to getting chosen. I agree to get what you want, but there's a psychological element involved, especially for men that experience rejection. Look at your business card. Looks are your business card.
It's not true. Not with girls. I'm not saying that all girls don't like looks. I'm not saying that. But there is plenty of times that I might not have been their looks choice, but the second I talked to him, everything changed. That's why I just told the story of Cheat Code. He hates that when I come around. He hates that. Because when it comes to the talking or intellect or whatever their internal things are, I seem to do well with that. I mean, look at Bana. I was out with Bana. Bana didn't even have makeup on, and she looks that good. Do you see what I'm saying? Obviously, it works. I'm not a model, not close to a model. It has been like that my whole entire life. That's why it's wild to me when I hear these guys say that this is what matters the most. It's just not. Well, does it help? Yes. Do I think that I could even be better if I did all of those things? Yes. But what I have found out is that conversation is platinum. Platinum. I mean, bro, some of the guys that have the most game, what do you say? They got a mouthpiece on them. Don't you say that? You say that, right? It's just, and then like, bro, I'm sure that you've seen me going to them in the group because there's just, I don't know what's going on now with all these dudes that are posting and saying, oh, you don't got no game. All you guys are beneath me. You need to know how to move, this and that. And they'll put up a picture. And I'm always the one that's like, real quick, post that photo with your face in it, right? And then there's this big fight. Then they want to gaslight me. They have an issue with that.
I got a comment from a woman here, Ashley. She says, men just be well-groomed, polite, and not stingy, and that's anywhere.
From a woman. Boom. See that? I even tried to get a haircut before I came here, but they were busy. I know to do at least that much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. Like, I don't know. There's something in our culture, and man, I would love to address this. Maybe you and me, maybe you with your expertise and your age on your side. What is this issue with guys making posts about how many girls they supposedly can pull, and they'll post some picture that, dude, the part that kills me is when they post the square picture. I'm like, everybody knows you took that from Instagram. Instagram is the only place that makes the picture square, right? Right. And then I'm like, so that's why I'm always like, real quick, and I got that from Kevin Hart, real quick, post a picture with you and that girl or a baddie with your face in the picture. And they have a huge problem with that. Why are these guys lying like that? Why is it such a big deal? That is like what I see the most in the group. The most. What are they doing? Like, do you like the part that gets me? Is
Hold on, they're coming. No, go ahead.
Has anybody in your entire life walked up to you and said, "How many hoes do you have?" Ever?
Facts.
Never.
Facts.
So why are guys up here trying to say they got? No one has ever asked you that question. That is not something we think about. The way we know they're a fraud is because they put that out, and then it makes us look at it, and we're like, "There's a lot of pieces missing here." What I just want to know, what is the root of that? Why is that so important to these guys to tell that story?
Validation. They want to be validated by other guys,
From
basically. By other guys. Sun is hot. Ross said, "I got 24 hours in a day. I'm not wasting a minute of listening to a broad whine about her messed up life."
Correct. They don't do that here.
All right, Melissa says, "Good conversation is simple. I believe the internet is ruining common sense."
I think the internet
because you got a lot of guys listening to these little dating coaches. They kind of renamed it to stoicism now, but dating coaches. And I'm like, bro, just be yourself and try to feel the woman's energy, try to feel a vibe, listen to her, and just because all women are very different, man. There's some similarities with groups of women, but they're all different too. But every situation is different. You got to tackle every situation. It's about what you want.
Yeah, but there are
and what they want from you.
But there are some things that are kind of baked into a girl, right? And what I've seen is it's protection first and providing second, right? Those are baked in. Those ones are baked in. The guys, we struggle with the providing thing a little bit, but a girl will choose a protector over a provider probably 90% of the time. That's why bad boys win that game, even though they are faking it. She's believing it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
They will take, and the other thing that they don't understand is protection doesn't mean, oh, I'm a big bad mother. It does to an extent. It also means protecting them emotionally, protecting the family, protecting those types of things, whether it's like from bad businessmen or from mafia, whatever it is. Okay. The protection is like first. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Shout out my man JJ has ADHD. JJ has ADHD with a $5 super chat. That's a hell of a name, man. He says, if it wasn't for Thomas Brown, I would have not have made the moves to move out the USA again. I thank that dude tremendously. So there you go. There you go, Thomas Brown.
My goodness. Thank you, my man. Like wow. Thank you.
You motivating brothers, man. You motivating them.
Dude, I think they deserve the best. Like, we're getting treated pretty bad in the States, man. It's almost a game for those girls, right? It's almost a game. But it's like they forgot. They have nothing. Everything that they're using, all the platforms they're using to make us a game, we built that for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, if these guys have busted their butts to go out and make all this money, to have some sort of financial freedom and realize these girls aren't grateful, then absolutely go find someone that is. And for us, what's very lucky is it seems like every girl outside of the country is steps above what we're used to, like every country. So for us, we just walk out there and go, holy.
But Thomas, hold on. Once again, because let's go beyond the surface level. Is that on us?
No.
That's not on the men. So the women are not. So the women of society are not a reflection of the men who are the fathers, who are the brothers, who are the boyfriends, who are the husbands.
I got the answer for that. You
know
the stats: 25%, 24% single parent homes in the United States. That's 1 in 4, right?
Okay.
70 to 80% of the time, the woman is breaking up the family.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to say it's all the men, if they want to say that, you mean to tell me that women choose badly 70 to 80% of the time?
Okay, so is that not on the father who had her? Does the father not get any blame whatsoever? Can he just run off in the sunset?
I mean, there is some of it. Of course, there's some of it. I think that the culture of the States. I think it's just the culture of the States.
It all starts with the man. Everything starts with the man. So
do you think so?
Yeah, because
how many wives?
We can speak and go back and forth on how bad the women are in the States.
No.
Is that not a reflection?
Keeping the men away.
Is that a reflection of the men in the States? In the West?
I don't believe it, because my brother went through the divorce And his wife tried everything to keep the kids away from him.
Mhm.
Everything. And my brother makes $500,000 net. He was paying everything to make sure the kids were okay. He told the judge gave him a lower amount to pay. He said, that's not enough for my children, right? Then what ends up happening is his wife was dumb enough for the card that he used. She used the card to buy things. He could see during Christmas time that she bought herself a Nordic track and spa treatments and all that, and the kids got clothes. Okay.
Mhm.
And I watched that fight. And he was lucky enough, he went to counseling, and the counselor said, do not badmouth her to the kids because they will see on their own. Guess who the kids live with now? By their choice. My brother.
Mhm.
By my brother. And I know tons of dudes. The women fight, they leverage, they use the kids against them. Okay. Not only that, the court system just ain't for the guys.
Okay. Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about the court system, right? Who created and managed and brought the rules to this court system? Was it not the men?
No, because did you see how many judges there were? When what's her name died, that's when things started slanting back to the guys. That one very leftist judge, remember? And everybody was all upset. All the women were upset about her. She pushed Roe versus Wade, all that stuff. It was a very balanced judge system in the Supreme Court, men and women. Then Trump came and took all those slots that Hillary had kind of saved for herself because she didn't know she was going to lose, and he filled them right leaning. And then it started moving back. That's when you saw like the Johnny Depp thing, and then the judges and all the system started moving back towards saying, hey, these girls this is crazy what they're doing. And Amber Heard kind of ruined it for all those types of girls publicly, right?
Mhm.
Then it kind of moved back a little bit. So people don't understand that all the way up to the Supreme Judge level. Look I'm in that world. My mentors, bro, that are teaching me the game, the first thing they did when they saw I was making a little cash, they said, T, we need to talk. Pulls me to another room, and they talked to me about prenup, irrevocable trust, offshore holdings. And they broke it down to me. Prenup covers her alimony, because that's what the courts are going to give her is alimony, right? Prenup covers that. She can't get the alimony. What she's going to do after that is she's going to go to the child support, and she's going to run the child support up, and she's going to claim lifestyle to get more money from you. That's what irrevocable trust covers. If you mingle the funds inside and use them during the marriage, then they can get to that, right? And that's what the trust offshore is for, because the signer or the owner is your lawyer. Then it's untouchable.
Okay.
If they are breaking that down for me that way, think about it. If they're telling me, Thomas, you need to understand this system if you're going to get married and you have money. Okay. I mean, why would they teach that to me?
Okay. All right. Yeah, good point. Well, guys, we've been at it for a good little minute, man. We're going to go ahead and sum up the show. I do have one final question for you before we go, and you can also have your say if you want to end the show and promote anything. You can welcome to promote anything as well. Albania. All right. Should we put this on the list as a passport bro destination, or do you think this is just for a small percentage of certain types of guys? Like, this isn't really
what I've seen in all of the groups. Okay, is there's these levels. Okay, the loudest, the must you hear the most are guys that are like pay for playing, but maybe acting like they're not, or
facts. Yeah.
You see like the most,
right?
Okay? But then you'll see another level of guys that are like, hey, I want to just travel. I just want to do that kind of thing. I think they could do Albania for travel. Last time you pulled up Delora, you pulled up Sarande, those beautiful beaches and stuff like that, right? But if you want to, like, maybe if you're a long-term traveler like me, or a slow traveler where you stay somewhere for 4, 5, 6, 7 months, yes, absolutely. It's got good cost, okay? Even though the euro is stronger, like I'm trying that carnivore diet right now. I spend about $7 a day for food. $7. And
that's you doing the all meat thing, bro? No carbs.
I love it. I thought I would hate it. It's like my body knows what I'm putting in it. It pulls all the aminos. I feel fine. Like when I start struggling, I struggled last night, and I was thinking, I was like, boy, I want to get that Burger King right now, and I just didn't, and I was fine. But But if it's somewhere where you are wanting to be a grown up, I think, yeah, this is great. You know what I'm saying? That's like a lot of Europe. But here in particular, what I think people will struggle with is since they came out of communism only 20 years ago, you still see the old communist and then the super modern, the new modern. Okay. But I mean, as for if you're a business guy and you have some real business sense, this is 100% the place for you. Let me paint this picture. How many things have we seen in America that we were kind of like, damn, I messed that up and someone else has picked that up? Or I wish I would have been the one to come up with that. Lots. They're behind enough here that a lot of those things you can make. They don't have e-commerce at all. Okay. But the reason they don't have e-commerce is their addresses are kind of screwed up. So if you fix the addresses, now you own all the marketing that goes to people's doors. That's all magazines. That's all like, what do you call that? That coupon book that they send for the grocery stores. All of that has to go through you. Now, do you got to build that out? Yeah. 200 stores to own the country. Yeah. 50,000 a pop for a store. Yes. But the 50,000 literally covers rent and 2 employees for 12 months. That's cheap. You see what I'm saying? And then not only that, with your magazines and your coupons, you think those are free? No, they're paying you for that stuff. So now you've got access to their doors by creating this mail system, okay? And they also pay their bills at the mail place. But after that, then when you own that, you kind of reverse engineered Amazon. So you make your own Amazon here. And you already know what the exit's going to be on that, okay? There's 2 Uber type things. One called Potoko. It crashes all the time, okay? A new one that came up called Clust. It doesn't crash, but the drivers are still just like, oh, I come when I want to. You make one a little more formulated, boom, you got to go. If you're like into fitness, the gyms are all $100 a month here. That's crazy. If you built one for $40, you would own the market here. Own it.
The gym's $100.
They don't understand that. Dude, I paid $200. I paid $200 for this one. Now, don't get me wrong. These things are like going to like some rich person's lounge. Okay. They are. But there is one called Angels Fitness. It's like 65, but it looks like a beat down gym. Okay. Make a decent one like Planet Fitness. Charge 40. You will clean house. You will clean house. You know what I'm saying? And this Melissa girl, she must know a lot about Europe. They are willing to listen, bro. Like I'll say this and then we'll get out of here. But they had a class here on how to sell, right? And the guy that taught it, he has a big time job and he's from London. And he was telling them how to sell and how to qualify and this and that. And it was driving me insane because he was teaching them how to just pretty much lull people to sleep until they bought. And I'm like, this is just not how you make money. These people in here are opening photography businesses, this and that. They need money now. And I was really like fidgeting and I said, hey, can I interject a little bit? And I did not realize what was going to happen. It blew up. Like everyone was surrounding me. They're like, how do we get a hold of you? And I put my little QR code out and I had like 20 phones clicking over it, right? They're hungry for it, man. They're hungry for it. So I think if these guys come and they want to build a life, and I mean, you can be the Walton here. That's the thing. You could become the Waltons here. I don't think people understand that. If you come and you pick something and you build it out, you will be the main person. They don't even have Booksy here, bro. How easy is that? Come and make a thing for barbershops. There's like 1,000 barbershops here. Make a Booksy. You can buy the template.
How's that work out there? Do they have like their own version of an app store or something like that?
No, they work on the Apple store and all that stuff. I'm just saying nobody built the app. Like when people do build apps out here, they don't know what they're doing and they just crash. They just crash. Like you build a Booksy, you know Booksies, right? And so you could book your barbershop appointment because it's already a pain in the ass. Like I'm always walking over there. So I'll come back in 1 hour. I'll come back in 2 hours. If they had that booking system, you could give it to them for 10 euros per 10 euros a month and then 5 euros for their other people in this. You would make a shitload of money. This place is crazy for that. People don't understand. Like, why would you do that? They're all worried about their, how much attention am I going to get? Is that really what matters? Or can you build a legacy as deep as it goes? Here, 100%. 100%. That's why I'm sticking it out. I just happen to be blessed with women that are 15s and 20s here, and their character is out of this world. You will find a 15 on the weekend out with her family for dinner, her brothers and sisters and mom and dad. They won't be at the club. Bro, that's a man's dream. That's a dream. So if they're just like, oh, Eastern Europe's too hard for me, I'm not mad. Don't come. Don't come. But I'm not just making now. I'm making forever. You see what I'm saying? For me, that works. Now, Latin culture, you know it. You live there. They're wonderful, man. They're like, relationships is normal for them. That's easy for them. I just happen to be fiscal. That matters to me. Just like you worried about it. You're like, you know, if I fall off, I don't know if my girl can steer this ship, right? Like if you get going to coma or whatever. I know that's like a very rare circumstance, but if I've got the chance to plan it in now, why not? Why not?
Good points, man. All right.
What I'm doing.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it here, man. Take a look at Albania. You know, take a little trip out there. Holla at my man,
or Eastern
Thomas
Europe
Brown.
in general. Yeah, or Eastern Europe in general.
Okay. All right. Great show once again. Great conversation. Peace.
All right, man. Deuce.